In the last video, we walked through how you can set up an email marketing campaign from scratch. So what we're going to do in this video is simply review all the data and analyze the results and see exactly how that email marketing campaign actually performed. So to do that, what we need to do is obviously log into MailChimp. Then we want to go ahead and go to campaigns from the left-hand side menu. This is now going to open all the campaigns that you have in your account. And of course, we only have one, which is the one we just sent out, which is this campaign right here. So as you can see, we can get some overview numbers of the campaign. We can see that this campaign had a 55.6% email open rate, and out of that we had 11.1% clicks. So clicks refer to the amount of people that actually clicked on the link within the email. So if you remember from our last video, this is the email we sent out, and the only link we had in this email was actually our buy now button. So what this data means is that 2 people clicked on that buy now button. Now we can go ahead and click view report to get a more detailed analysis. And as you can see at the top of the page, we have this overview right here of orders, average order revenue, and the total revenue. Now it's really important to note that you can only see data and set this up for your order value if you have a pro account with MailChimp, which of course we do not have as we are using a free account. So for now, I'm simply going to skip past this part and move on to the next section. So the next part in our report is all to do with campaign benchmarking. Now, you might be wondering if my email open rate of 55.6% is actually a good email open rate. And you might be wondering, is that a good email open rate for you too? Well, what I want to do here is simply clarify that your email open rate is going to be niche specific, which basically means that some niches perform a lot better than others. For example, if you're sending out an email marketing campaign to maybe a list of dentists, then you might actually get a lower open rate than if you're sending an email marketing campaign to a bunch of lawyers. Why? It's because dentists typically are busy from the whole time they're at work. They don't really check their emails. However, if you're sending an email campaign to a law firm, for example, then typically law firms are 99% office-based, meaning they're more likely to be in front of the computer, have the email open, and actually see your email and open it. So this is why you can't apply a general rule and say all emails should have at least an email open rate of X%. It's all niche specific. Now the great thing about MailChimp is that you actually have the option to tell MailChimp what industry you operate in, and then as a result, MailChimp will let you know if the data that you are getting from your campaign is above or below the industry standard for the industry that you operate in. So let me go ahead and fill in the campaign benchmarking now. So let me go ahead and click select my industry. So the first thing I need to do is simply select the industry which I operate in. So let's go ahead and click the drop down box now, and as you can see we have tons of different options to select from. We can go for consulting, creative services agency. However, I like to go for professional services, which is this one right here, as when you run a digital marketing agency, you are basically providing professional services. Let's go ahead and give that a click. How many people are there in your organization? I'll go for 1 to 5. How old is your organization? I'll go for 1 to 2 years. I'm going to go ahead and click save. So as you can see, our details have now been updated, which is great. So if we scroll down under campaign benchmarking, you can now see we have tons of data which we can review and analyze to get an indication of exactly how well our email campaign performed. So I'm going to start off with the right hand side, which is how your email campaign compares. And under this section, we have 3 different tabs. We have the email open rate, we have the click rate, and we have the unsubscribes. Now under each of these tabs, we're going to have 3 different columns. The first column is this email's performance, the second column is your average campaign performance, and the last column is your peers' average performance. Now it's important to note that as we only have one campaign set up in this account, our campaign's performance and the average campaign performance is going to be exactly the same, as we obviously only have one campaign. So your peers' average performance is basically the industry benchmark for how well the campaigns are doing for other businesses who operate in your specific industry. Now, this would be the industry that we specified, which in my instance is going to be professional services. Now, you might be wondering, well, great, but where do these industry benchmark numbers come from? Well, MailChimp analyzes hundreds of millions of emails sent in MailChimp to determine average email open, click, and unsubscribe rates. They then use this data to develop personalized benchmarks for users who share certain industry and audience characteristics. So essentially, we can see exactly how well our campaign performed in comparison to similar businesses. Of course, if it's better than the average, then great. If it's a lot worse, then we need to make some tweaks to improve our campaign going forward. So let's run through the data now and see exactly how our campaign performed. So we'll start off with email open rate. So as you can see, our email open rate was 55.6%. Now the average based on our peers, which of course again is similar businesses, is 52.6%. So what this tells us is that our email campaign actually had a better email open rate than the majority of our peers, which is great. However, if this number was maybe really low, such as 5%, and the industry standard was 52%, then this is a very clear signal to us that our emails actually aren't getting opened. Now, when it comes to getting your email opened, like I said before, one of the biggest contributing factors is going to be your email subject line. However, as we went through the video earlier and we know how to write a good email subject line, that actually isn't an issue for us whatsoever. However, if your number was really low, then what you want to do is obviously go ahead and change your email subject line to grab people's attention and actually get your email opened. So let's go ahead and look at the click rate. So our click rate is 11.1% and the peers average performance is actually a little bit higher at 13.3%. So just to clarify one more time, the click rate is the amount of people that click on links within your email. Now in our actual email body, we have one link, which is this buy now button, but below that we also have some other links as well to our Twitter, our Facebook, and to our website. Now we can actually go back to our main report, and if we scroll down to the bottom, we can see we have top links clicked. Now this gives us a summary of all the links that were clicked in our email. We have our website, we have MailChimp, Facebook, and our Twitter. Now it's important to note that the link click to our website is actually what the buy now button triggers. So if I go ahead and click this will open a link to slicewordpressdemo.com. So if we go back to our report now and look at our email click rate, again 11.1%, so we are below the industry standard. So basically what this means is that we need to improve our email to generate more clicks. So in our case, one thing we can do to increase the amount of clicks we're getting from our campaign is to potentially try a different text we have on our button. So instead of saying buy now, we could actually replace that and say limited time only, or buy now, why packages last, something that's a little bit more urgent and creates more urgency in the user to actually take action. And of course, another thing you can also do is actually add another button. Now, I don't recommend you add two buttons right next to each other. I recommend you have some text like this, add a button and then add some more text below that, and then add another button at the bottom. I've seen a lot of people do this and I've actually done it myself and it's worked extremely well. Some people click the button in the middle of the email and some people click the button at the bottom of the email. However, as we have two different buttons in the email, we essentially double the chance of us getting clicks. So that's actually another great idea you can use. So let's go back to our report now and check the final tab, which was unsubscribes. So we actually had no one unsubscribing from our campaign from that email, which is great. And we can see the peers average industry benchmark is 0.6%. So again, we are way under that, so we have nothing to worry about whatsoever. So if we go over to the left-hand side of our campaign benchmarking, you can see we also get some additional information, such as our audience demographics. So based on the list we sent our email to, MailChimp is telling us that over 65% of them are actually male, and the ages range from 25 and up, and the audience size is greater than 200. So we can also scroll down on this report and get more information as well. So again, we have the same data we saw earlier, 10 email opens and 2 of them clicked. We can see how many of those emails got delivered, so 18. How many emails got opened in total, 16. Now, just to clarify in the discrepancy why this one says 10 email opens and this one says 16, this is because the same people can open your email multiple times. So there was 10 unique email opens, but out of those 10 people, some of them obviously opened the email multiple times. So we can actually go ahead and click this number right here, which is actually a link, and this will show you exactly what people open that email multiple times. For example, we can see this user here opened this email 2 times. We had this person open the email 3 times, this person opened it 2 times, and this person opened it 3 times as well. Now the last thing I want to run through is going to be your 24-hour performance. So essentially what this does, it shows you what time your emails actually get opened and when the clicks take place. For example, we can see we had an email opened at 8 AM, we had another one opened at 9 AM, there was also a click as well. We had another one get opened at 5 PM, and we had one get opened at 1 AM. So you can actually use this data to plan your campaign going forward and send your campaigns at the optimum time. For example, let's imagine we had our campaign and we saw that 40% of the clicks were all opened at 7 AM, were all opened at 9 AM, Well, that is great data for us to know going forward because it means we can send all our future campaigns at 9 AM as well, as that is when the majority of our list actually open emails. But of course, as this is a dummy email campaign I set up, which actually only went out to, I believe, 21 people, the data we are seeing here isn't actually that reliable as it's such a low amount of recipients. However, hopefully you get a good idea of exactly what I'm saying and how you can apply it to your real life email marketing campaign. So I hope you found the video useful and it gave you some context on exactly how you can measure your email campaign and most importantly, how you can use the data to improve your campaign going forward. Now, it's really important to note that when it comes to email marketing campaigns, it's all going to be a work in progress, which what I mean by that is essentially you're not going to send one campaign and straight away get 100% open rate, 100% clicks and 0 unsubscribers. Things are going to change on a campaign to campaign basis. So please do not get disheartened if you send out an email campaign and it gets barely any opens and any clicks. View the data and see exactly where you went wrong, make a tweak in your next campaign and continually work to improve your campaigns to ensure you are the best email marketer out there. So that is it for this one and I'll see you in the next video.